Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at ADA. Before we jump into the analysis, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down in the comment section below. Okay, so let's get into it. So within this move, basically I'm still looking for the potential of having a diagonal pattern to end this, where this is a 1, 2, 3, and then we're actually looking for potential of a expanding fourth wave here. So the current structure is not giving us a great deal of information as to how this is going to play out, but there are a few possibilities. So we're going to go over that. So one of the things we were talking about a while back, and I'm actually quite amazed at how well it actually played out, to be fair, was the fact that we were having the look at this as a potential extension here as a 1, 2, and then this was potentially going to be a 3, 4, 5, and then we could be looking for this as a fourth wave and an additional fifth wave to the upside. So this is still viable for the most part, and effectively would only become invalidated by moving back down below this point here of this 2773. But the problem I have with this count is the size of this wave in relation to the 2. So I am looking out for it, but I don't have a great deal of confidence within it because I would have expected it to be a lot smaller than it currently is. So if this is the case, what we'd actually be looking at is a potential that we've come down already to this as a 1-to-1, and we could look to actually push up from this point. So we can see we've actually come down to this 1-to-1. If we do start to push up from here, the target zone I'd be looking for would actually be this 3851 to this 3680. That would be a typical fifth wave move area. So it is possible that we can look at this move in this manner, where we're actually looking for this as a fifth wave still to come up here. However, there is another way we can also look at this, and basically there's a couple of ways, to be honest with you. Because of the structure up here, it is a bit iffy in its nature. So what we could also have is, if I just throw this onto the immediate moves, the alternative way we can look at this, I'm actually going to turn this off 1 second. Let's turn that off. If we look at this as a potential, I'm going to remove this. If we look at this as a 5-wave move in this structure, rather, where we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up into this high point, a fourth, and then extension within this fifth wave. Technically speaking, that could be then a completed move. So this would either be an A wave or potentially a wave 1. So now what we would be looking for here is whether we actually form a within this structure. We have a couple of options. Either we could be looking at this as a deeper corrective move, where this becomes an A, this becomes a B, and then we're looking for that C wave to the downside as a flat correction. If that's the case, effectively what we'd be looking for is moving, there's a couple of ways of measuring this, but if we just move this into here, if we measure it off of this low point, effectively what we'd be looking to do is actually push down towards this this 1236 to this 1.618 zone, and potentially looking to actually take this low point over here. So what we would then be looking for is actually a deeper move within this move. There's another way that we can measure this if this is going to be playing out, and what that would actually be looking at this from it would have to be from this point to this point, and actually adding 0.618 to the A wave move. So this could be a zone that we actually look to move into, this 2940 to this 2859. So this would be relying on the fact that we're actually going to break down, and then we're looking for something like this to play out, where we look at this as an A, this is a B, and then potentially looking for that C wave to the downside. This is the support zone that I'd be typically looking for if we are going to be looking for this B wave retracement, would be this 2877 all the way down to this 2590. This would be a zone which we would look to retrace commonly for a B wave retracement, and then that would actually set us up for something like this, which would be an A, potentially a B down into these lows, and then looking for that C wave to the upside. So this would basically be looking for this as a corrective structure, as a zigzag, and would mean that we could actually be still looking at the potential for, as long as we stay below this point here of this, let's get on there, this 4381, we can still look potentially at this as a expanding diagonal pattern, which could then look to actually end this corrective structure. However, we also need to be aware of the bullish side of this argument, where we can potentially count this as a wave 5 completed here, in which case this might be a 1 and a 2, and then we're actually looking to progress up in a bigger 5-wave move. So we're going to have to monitor it around these support zones and see how the structure actually plays out. If we complete a zigzag to the upside here, and then we start to get 5-wave impulsive structure to the downside, then it would actually indicate that we could be looking to actually break this low point and then look to sweep these lows and set a new low. The other way that we can look at this, and this is obviously this way would be very early days in its formation, but we can potentially look at this as forming a C wave like this, where we actually look to form in a diagonal pattern, where we form this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as a potential contracting ending diagonal. So this would then be looking at the fact that we could look at this move as an A, B, C to the downside, and it would basically become invalidated by crossing below this low point here of this 30.75. If we move below that 30.75, then it's more likely that we're going to be heading down towards those zones we just talked about. Alternatively, if we manage to hold this, it is possible that we could either form this kind of a structure where we form this contracting diagonal here. But what we wouldn't want to do, so invalidation of this, if we're looking at a contracting variant, would basically be moving above this point here, this 38.91. If we do move above 38.91, then it's actually probably more likely that somewhere within this structure the count is slightly out, and either this is a completion here, this is a B wave, and we're starting that C wave, where this is going to become a the problem is the structure within this move isn't great to count as an impulse. It looks better as a 3-wave move. So we just got to bear that in mind, that when we're looking at this, there isn't the correct structure that I want to see for an impulse. But if we do move up from here, basically what we'd have to do is then treat this as an impulse, but it would only get confirmed by moving above. If I throw this fib onto here, into this high point, down into this low point, it would only get confirmed by moving above this 43.60. Moving above that 43.60 would then make us look at this as a secondary move, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as a regular impulse, and would actually look to potentially invalidate this move here. So we'd have to see if that does play out. We'd have to potentially treat this as a 1, 2, and then this would become another 1, 2 in a bigger move to the upside. So we just got to bear that in mind, that we could see something like this play out, but currently the structure isn't really suggesting it. This structure is suggesting more to me rather that we could look to actually break down. And if we were going to look to break down in a C wave from here, so either, like I said, either we're going to have this as a diagonal pattern in here, that's what my primary expectation is, but the invalidation of that is coming by moving it back above that, I forget the number now, let's get it onto here, just this again, this 38.90. I'm actually going to put this line up here now. If we move above that 38.90, effectively that would invalidate this diagonal potential, and either would become a bigger structure here where this is an ABC, then we're going to break down again for that C wave. But either that's happening where we got this diagonal structure, or we could potentially look to this move here and argue that we have some 5-wave moves nestled in here. We haven't met the impulsive trigger of this one yet, I don't think, just by looking at it. Let's have a look. No, we haven't. So if we do actually still look to progress down and we cross this 31.66, what I would be looking out for here is the fact that we could have this as a 1, 2, and this would be 1, 2, 3, all of this would be a 4 and a 5 down and past this 31.66. Then we could look for that retracement for a 4th and then a pullback again for a 5th wave. If we do get this kind of a structure play out here where we actually look to push down, this is obviously roughly until we get the moves come in, but into this 31.21 zone to this 30.63, we could then actually potentially look at this as having another leg here where this is a 1, 2, this would be a 3rd wave, and then we'd look to push up for a 4th wave again and look to break down one more time. that is a 5-wave move from that point could potentially take us down into the support zone like we were talking about, and then we'd have to look at that as an A, B, and then that C wave to the downside. So confirmation of a move down like this would so this third wave would be this 3061. So we can see how here, if we actually do start to break down for that additional leg and we form these additional third and fourth waves here to the downside, then it is possible it could look to bring us down into this zone. So if we moved back up there, effectively until the waves come in, this is just sort of an idea, but the 30 cent range to this 29.35, so it's not far off of actually moving down towards this zone here. And if we actually throw a fib onto this and we have a look at this retracement off of this high point, it is possible that could be quite close. So the 382, and if we had having a flat correction, it is possible we could look to target this 382, would be this 30 cent 11. So that would be quite well in that zone there. So we've just got to give it a bit of time and see how it progresses. But that's what I'm basically looking out for. If we manage to hold the support line here and we don't cross this 30.75, there is potential we could see a diagonal structure play out here. Alternatively, if we do break to the upside here from there, we'd have to then look at this as a potential 5-wave move, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if we cross that impulse. However, like I said, if it's a diagonal, we can't cross that 38.89. So we will give you an update once we get a bit more information and structure within this move. Go back in the video if you need to see those price points and those ideas of what we think is going on. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope everyone found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below? Always happy to hear from you guys. Also in the description below, you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not come and check it out? It's free to join. It's a great place to chat with like-minded individuals. And also in the description below, you'll find affiliate links for BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges in our opinion. They're the ones that we use when we're doing our trading. And yeah, why not check them out? If you use the affiliate links, it helps support the channel and helps us grow. Really appreciate it, guys. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.